Alright, welcome back. It's going to be kind of a short episode today. It's later in the day. Just got in from out of town today. Needless to say, we're looking at the red Ford again. This is obviously not a customer's truck. It's my truck. We bought two fuel oil pressure sensors, Ford numbers. And the first one was throwing a circuit code, and then this one, I think it's acting weirder than the factory one did, so called in a favor, and I got directly from Ford, from my nearest Ford dealer. So we're going to try this one more time, and the reason why, because I want to verify, and I put the sensor in it, and we're going to run a trend on the regulator and volume control valve, and we're going to make sure that those aren't acting up. It wouldn't surprise me if they are. Again, this truck's got almost 260,000 miles on it. It's an original engine, original fuel pump, original everything. It's all original. Nothing has been changed. Again, besides it losing some weight and getting tuning. That is the only thing that's changed to this truck, and a coolant filter. Which we will be putting the Mishimoto or coolant filter kit on this truck. It should be here today, so we may leave this one here. I'm not really too sure yet. We will be changing that out, getting rid of the whatever brand this is. Because the crimp failed on the heater hose over here and actually popped off when I was at the grocery store last week with it. We pulled the crimp off, put a hose clamp on it, and life goes on. But after doing that, I'm going to just go ahead and replace it because I don't trust it. I already wrote a review to the company, pretty much told them the product quality is less than to be desired, so we got a better kit coming. I don't really remember what I ordered originally for this truck anyway. But yeah, so we're going to put that rail pressure sensor in this truck today, before I start actually looking at trying to replace the pump in this truck. We'll be pulling off the front cover of this thing again. Reason being is we believe the chain skipped a tooth on the crank because it's throwing a crank code and runs kind of rough. So pretty sure it did. Wouldn't surprise me. It sucks because we have to burn more time, but it needs to be right. This one, as we saw in the previous video, motor turns over real slow. So what I can tell from this one is that the oil cooler failed. It overheated, blew the head gaskets, which are definitely blown. It does have blow-by, so the head gaskets are shot. The oil cooler is definitely shot. I'm pretty sure the bottom of the motor, the bearings aren't too happy with having milkshake in them. So we do have an engine for this truck. It's actually, we'll probably go look at that either later today or tomorrow. And we picked up a truck for a pretty good price, fully running. I think it's a 2-wheel drive crew cab truck, but it's got a real healthy engine in it, a healthy transmission. All I need is the engine, but we got the truck for such a price that it was cheaper than buying a running engine. Again, this truck, we're just trying to get it running and get it gone. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do with that. Nothing but bad news with that Ram there. It used to have CAN bus, and then now it has zero CAN bus at all. I have nothing from any module on that truck. So we're going to look at a couple more things on it, and unfortunately, as we suspected, that truck is a total loss as far as electronic goes. Not much we can do. I know everybody's probably getting tired of seeing me pull this valve cover off, but it's content, right? So what we're going to do, we're just going to rip all this stuff off real quick. We're going to throw that sensor in this truck. We're going to throw it all right back together real quick, and then see if it runs better, hopefully, or run worse. Either way, now we can figure out what we got to do next to get it running right. So if we got to pull the turbos and change the pump, then that's what we'll do, but hopefully not. Alright, hit a little maxi scan here. So we're just going to read the codes and everything, get it together, make sure there's no codes, there's no pending codes. Perfect. So we're going to unplug this, keep in the ignition, and once it runs, check engine light. We'll plug the edge back in. Use that for our rail pressure readout. And then we'll see. We'll take it for a little drive here and make sure everything is better than what it was. All right, here's the moment of truth. We're going to accelerate. It already feels better, because right now what it would have been doing under a load accelerating, it'd be rattling real bad. The rail pressure would be chattering, like almost as if it's either overpressuring or underpressuring the rail, causing the truck to surge. It would do it intermittently. And I have a completely smooth acceleration. Rail pressure looks good. It's higher than what it was on the original sensor. We're reading 14 pounds, or getting up to 70 miles an hour here. Truck's still cold, so I don't want to be too hard on her. But yeah, I think both those sensors were complete garbage. I don't know if they were just a previous generation of the rail pressure sensor. I mean, these things have had issues from the get-go, and anybody who knows anything about a Ford 6.4 Power Stroke is that the rail pressure sensors can wreak absolute havoc on these engines. And I mean complete. They'll cause the trucks to run, again, like how mine was running. It'll cause the rail pressure to actually, to surge, because all the computer has to read is this, okay? And again, as I've discussed on TikTok previously, is that with the sensors on the pump, there's no read back. So the computer is only saying, if the computer says, hey, I'm telling these the regulator 20% or 30% of the volume control valve or whatever, X amount of percentage, it's all it's going to say. There's no readback, so there's no actual of what the sensor is. So the sensor could actually be at 10% when it's calling for 30 or calling for 40, and you don't really know. But yeah, this is how this truck should be running. Which makes me happy, because that means that now I don't have to put a high pressure pump in this truck, because I was fearing that, because knowing me and my extremeness of thinking when it comes to fixing vehicles, to me, I would have to do that. I'd have to change the turbos, because the turbos are original, and they have 258,076 miles on them, and I don't like the idea of that. If I'm pulling them out, I might as well change them at that point, because of the amount of time they have on them. And obviously, with what the purpose of this truck is, again, it was supposed to be a work truck, but it turns out I like it too much, so it will not be a work truck. It's going to be, I will still use it to drive to and from on my normal A to B or trips, but it will also serve a kind of a toy, essentially, right? The Ram is always the backup. It's my primary vehicle. It's what I use to pull anything, just because, not that these trucks can't pull, obviously they can, but if you ask me, nothing will pull better than a Ram pickup. Say what you want, it's going to hurt some feelings, but a straight 6 torque band just absolute dominates any V8 diesel. It's just the way it is. Obviously, if that was not the case, then we would have V8 diesels and semi-trucks nowadays, and we don't, because the Detroits are straight 6s, the Cummins are obviously straight 6s. Not that Cummins doesn't make V8s, but in pretty much the majority of light, medium, and heavy duty are all straight 6s until you get to the big Q series motors. But Caterpillars are straight 6s. It's all straight 6s, right? So PACCAR, yada yada yada. Not disregarding that the V8 diesels are not efficient, they're not powerful, they can't make power. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when it comes to pulling, it's just the torque band on the Cummins straight 6 is just far better, smoother, it's longer. It runs, the torque peak band runs 1800 to 2200 RPMs, or 2150 RPMs. That's peak torque, and that's really about where they gear them trucks to run, and they pull flawlessly. Again, I know somebody will comment, oh, my Power Stroke pulls better and it pulls more and blah 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 blah, and Duramax guys will say the same, but whatever. Numbers are numbers. It's just the way it is. It's the reason why Cummins has made zero core design changes. Besides, I mean, obviously hydraulic lifters and stuff like that, but the core engine design has stayed the exact same forever, and with good reason. So, I think it's safe to say this truck is fixed. Now, one thing I will try is, I know when you go to change power levels, because obviously this truck is tuned, it has a little bit of programming on it, nothing too crazy, right? Because I mean, it is a stock 6.4. I don't really push this thing to the limit. I don't drive it like a dog. I don't beat the hell out of it. I just drive it because it does its job. It gets me to and from. It's reliable. It does. I mean, I know, right? A 6.4 reliable is crazy. But yeah. So I'm gonna see. When we come to a stop here, I'm gonna kick the switch up one level. Now that the truck is warmed up here, 186 degrees on the coolant. I don't know if the GoPro will pick up the screen that well. I guess it does. Come over here. I'm gonna come to a stop. I'm just gonna pick the switch up. RPMs don't seem to be surging, which is good. So we'll kind of drive it on that and see. Typically, it'll like the RPM gauge will flutter a little bit. But it seems to be fine. Again, rail pressure seems to be good. Truck shift's fine. I will be making a video. This truck will be the topic when I do make my kind of discussion. I'm going to go through and talk about every single engine. Each episode will be in one engine, right? And they're probably going to be 30 minutes or so because it takes a little bit of time. But we're going to talk about the 7.3 Power Stroke, the 6.0, the 6.4, the 6.7, and as well as the various generations of the Cummins diesels, and of course Duramax, because you can't leave them out as well. Pretty much talking about the pros and cons of all of them. Like 6.4s, right? I love 6.4s. I mean, I like 6.0s, and I mean, which is funny because really my two, and I like Cummins. I'm real biased to Cummins. I've had every generation of the Cummins engine pretty much, and every generation of the Ram pickup, from all the way from, I've had a 91, a 93, a 96, an 02, an 06. I didn't have an early common rail, I guess, but I mean, really the same engine, right? A 13, and then now the 19 or 2020. It's a late 19, I guess. Technically, it's a 19, but it's a 20, whatever. And I mean, I've had them all. I've been real loyal to them. They've been real loyal to me. I don't have a whole lot of complaints when it comes to Cummins diesels or the Ram pickups. It's just really my favorite truck. But I'm real kosher to the 6.0, 6.4s. They're my favorite diesel engines. They sound the best. They can make a lot of power with not a lot of work. Yeah, they have issues in the factory, right? I mean, they do. That's why, especially the 6.4, why the 6.4 is really titled probably the most hated diesel ever produced to date. Yeah, so let's go take a look real quick at this truck we picked up for the engine, and then we'll get back to putting some fuel filters on the Ram. All right, so this is the hoopty. Hopefully I don't find anything illegal in this thing. This is I think it's an 06, I think. It's you can tell like somebody got hungry and ate to see a little bit. Got some burn holes in the truck. I will say it definitely smells like cannabis in this thing. Not a big fan of the smell. I mean, some stuff got post right, passenger side window controller. Nothing in the glove box, nothing in the glove box. Radio has been stolen or taken out. Either way, I really don't care, right? That doesn't really bother me. Get some bald skinnies on it. Definitely had a blowout. Looks like to be on over here on the bedside. Looks like a tree fell on that. Something hit it. So the door is trash and the top of the cab is trash, which, I mean, the cabs are what's the roof of them are worth the money. But the driver door, got a little dent there. Allegedly it runs. I have no idea. My compadre told me it runs. I hope it does. Take a look here. Okay. No. got some aftermarket piping kits. Got a couple marine batteries in this truck, which are not what should be in it, but hey man, they're in it. I mean, doesn't look trashed. I've seen a lot worse. We'll see. Definitely got some coolant leaks going on here. They did replace that Y there with a aluminum fitting. Different there. Definitely used. It's got coolant in it. You can tell it's got some rust though. Feel the degas bottle's been leaking over here, so that's whatever. Radiator looks newer, which is good. I think it needs an oil cooler. I'm pretty sure. It wouldn't surprise me. I guess not. See, I thought that it had like some water in the oil from the pictures, but it sounded good, so I wasn't too worried about it. So let's see what this looks like. Oh, looks good. Definitely fresh. Whatever. Well, it's got batteries. Will it start? I'm just curious if it runs. Again, I was told it was. It drove on the trailer, off the trailer. I have not heard it. This is my second time seeing the truck. We got beeps. We got glow plug lights. The batteries might be low though. A little bit of blow by, but I mean, it does have a little bit of a miss. It may have an injector issue. We'll do a, there goes the turbo. So, it'll run. Might have a sticky injector. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out when we pull the, or before we pull the engine. We'll get it over there, check it out, put the scanner on it, see what the hell's going on. Not bad though. I'm not going to say we paid for it, but just know it was not a lot. So the fact that it runs is surprising, and the transmission works is surprising. So everything else is a bonus. Hood needs paint, but the hood's good. Bumper's not terrible. Fender looks alright. It's got a good rear axle in her. I don't know what gearing, but you know, not bad. Like I say, I'm not really mad about the price. So, cool. That's that. Well, let's get back. I got work to do. And for my last act today, we'll be installing the Black Market Performance spin-on filter conversion for the 19 to 20 Rams. Reason being, I'm not going to give you the whole, I'm not really a big fan of filter conversions per se, but with these I am. This is the rear filter. Obviously it has the water drain as the factory one does, and this is the filter up by the engine with no drain as the factory one also is about the same. This is the front filter kit. You have hose extensions, you have your water and the fuel sensor, you have your hardware, install instructions, mounting plate, and the rear plate that mounts with the studs to the back of the frame rail with the extended pigtail again for the water and fuel sensor. So we'll remove the factory housing that's there, which again looks like another pain to do, and the rear one, which is, well, we can't see it because this fuel tank's in the way. But the big win with these, they do move more flow, obviously, than the factory. The biggest thing is the cost. So this kit is about let's see, I can say $400. But your filters from now on to replace are about $30 a piece. You can get the Wix part numbers interchange. Use Wix filters. It's about $30 a piece for a filter. As the factory filters range anywhere from $70 to $100 a filter, and after about 4 filter changes, you're going to pretty much pay for them. So it's better filters and cheaper filters. Makes sense to me. That's what we're going to put them on here. We're going to get rid of the factory filters. Again, especially the rear filter, always, especially on the like the 13 to 18 trucks, the rear spin-on sucks. The newer ones, they got rid of the spin-on. Those are better, but the old ones they're just a freaking pain in the ass to deal with. Most of the time they get stuck on there, and you have to like shove a screwdriver through them, pry them off. Sometimes I use a wrench and a ratchet strap to force them to come loose. Unnecessary fight. It's real easy though. Rear filter is in and out. That's why you just got 2 nipples there. It's the easiest one to do for obvious reasons. 2 13mm bolts hold it on there. So just unplug, pull the lines off, pull the nuts off, and then the whole thing drops out. And reverse with this, just bolt it up on there. Screw your nipples on there. Put your fuel lines on, extension, and then you're good to go. This one does take a little bit more. The front filter is kind of a pain in the ass to get to because you have to pull sending line and return lines. A little bit more that goes on here. Obviously, you can see by all these fittings. We have the hose extensions you will have to need. But we're probably doing the instructions for this. This is the first 19 and newer Ram I've installed this kit with. I've done plenty on the older trucks, just not these. So the front filter, I'm sure, is going to be a little bit challenging again because it's just not a lot of room. It is hard to get to anyway from up here, so we'll see how that works out. But the rear one, this thing should not take any longer than 15 minutes to do. So let's get to it, see what's going on.
hanging around, wasting time, hoping that you drop by. And I don't pretend to know what you want. I don't even know where to start, but I'm willing to try.
Alright, so we're done. So the recording angle I had to get was underneath the truck. It was really, obviously I can't put it up here, right? Because I have to work out of that little hole, and there's really never a place to put the camera. But on this one, the front filter, the center port right here on the edge, this is the line that feeds the pump. This truck's had the CP3 conversion, so it has a CP3 on it. I don't have the CP4. And then the rear line on the very back of the aluminum housing has a little tiny extension line, which then goes to the quick connect for the sending line from the tank. And then your water and fuel sensor goes right here. You'll have to unhook, which you saw me fight in the video. There's a little coupling on another wire it goes on. You have to fight and get it off, and then unwrap the wire through here around the harness and then back in. Rear filter's on too. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Oh, of course, you definitely can't see it from this side because the freaking fuel tank's in the way, because I got the Titan tank on here. Can't see nothing. But there you go. The rear one's on. We've already primed it up. We checked the leaks. We cleaned that wheel. It's very dirty. Yeah, everything runs good, so that's good. The Mishimoto coolant filter kit came in for the Ford like 30 minutes ago, so we're obviously not going to mess with that today. It'll be a later in the week project. But yeah, that's where we're at. That's done. Next thing that I plan to do with this truck is probably going to end up head studding it. We're going to do bolt for stud, so we're not going to pull the head. We're going to leave the gasket in place and just do studs. We're going to try to do it before 150,000 miles. I don't really like doing them anything after that, because at that point it's real risky. Ideally do it before 100, but you know, we'll see. I plan to stud it just because at some point this truck will lose the title of the pull truck, and we will be purchasing a newer 1-ton at some point in the future, probably within the next 3-4 years or so. It won't be done now, as I don't need it now, right? But and this will be, it will just kind of be a more of a auxiliary vehicle. But yeah, that's the plan. Stud it. We'll do a turbo time USA upgrade, and then of course build the transmission. And that'll really be it for this one. I don't think we have a whole lot of grand scheme of plans. As of right now, this is really all we're going to do. Nothing crazy to do. It does everything it needs to do right now. It doesn't need to be studded. We don't drive it hard enough. But yeah, that's where that's at. We'll be looking at that some more tomorrow. I'm probably going to tear this back apart and fix it. Timing chain issue. And then we got another Ford back there we're going to work on. Do a gearbox conversion on it. And start pulling the motor out of this one. That's the plan. So, that's it. I'll see y'all in the next video.